This morning, Attorney General Pam Bondi made a big announcement that the top MS-13 gang leader on the East Coast of the United States has been arrested. We don't know the name yet. It'll be out shortly. 24 years old. MS-13 is the vicious gang from El Salvador that murders at will. And listen to the stat. There may be 10,000 members of MS-13 in the United States right at this moment, committing crimes, selling drugs, beating people up, extortion, murder, you name it. Thank you, Joe Biden. That's right at Biden's doorstep. All right. So what the Trump administration did was make this announcement on Thursday morning, so any kind of breach stuff would be put on the back burner. Here's what the Attorney General said. Go.
Early this morning, one of the top leaders of MS-13 was apprehended. He was the leader for the East Coast, one of the top 3 in the entire country. Right here in Virginia, living half an hour outside of Washington, D.C. He is an illegal alien from El Salvador, and he will not be living in our country much longer.
Well, I hope they try this guy in our country. I mean, I know you deport him, you send him back to El Salvador, and he'll rough him up there. But if this guy has committed crimes on our soil, I want him tried here and put in a supermax prison in Colorado for whatever, 20, 30 years, and then you can deport him when he's an old man. That's what I would do. But anyway, this is such a huge scandal, I can't even believe I'm even reporting the story. And this is what has sunk the Democratic Party, right? And President Biden. Biden's legacy is shot. It'll never come back. There are some presidents who leave office unpopular, like Harry Truman. But then their legacy gets boosted as history unfolds. And people go, you know, Truman's pretty good. People just didn't know about it. Not Biden. He's so terrible, it's almost impossible for me to describe it. In addition to MS-13, most of whom came to this country across the southern border, which Biden opened up, as everybody knows, there are an estimated 50,000 members of the 18th Street Gang. That's a multi-ethnic bunch of thugs from Central America, Mexico, and some Americans out of LA, but they're all over the country now. And it's mostly narcotics. That's what they do. That's what these gangs do. But they also extort. They go into bodegas and say, you got to give me 10, 20% of your profits or I'm going to shoot you in the head and kill all your children. And that's what they do. It's what they do in El Salvador, in Honduras, wherever else they come from. They're extortionists and dope dealers. And the dope market is the biggest here in America, which is why they come here. So Biden allowed this to happen by opening the border. So you look at it and you go, well, why? The Border Patrol under Biden, 4 years, reports 11 million encounters. That's 11 million foreign nationals were stopped by the Border Patrol. Well, you got to figure there was another, 7 or 8 million that got through that weren't encountered? We're talking astronomical numbers that the Trump administration is trying to get under control, as everybody knows. All right, so Biden did it. He did it by executive order. Congress didn't pass this. What a heinous, worst policy in American history generated by a president. The worst. Dred Scott decision of the Supreme Court. A lot of these slave stuff came out of Congress. Executive order, Biden opening that southern border, worst in history. I can't find another one. If you can, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, let me know. But I can't find one that's even close to that. Okay? That's how bad it was. So now we have up to 20 million foreign nationals running around the United States unattended. Okay? And there have been 53,000 arrests of criminal aliens since Biden was elected. 53,000. There have been 100 undocumented aliens on the terror watch list who crossed into this country. 100. This is from Homeland Security stats. Now, we know them, all right? That's how we got the number. But there are others we don't know, who came across. Border Patrol didn't get everybody. They don't counter everybody. Some believe that most get away. I don't know that. So when you're looking at this, that is why Donald Trump won. Yeah, the economy and the high prices had something to do with it, but boy, it was illegal immigration put him over the top. In Arizona and Nevada and other states that went for him that didn't go the first time around, that was it. And so now, when the president gets in trouble, as he did with this breach business, okay, he trots out, and I do the same thing. Nothing dishonest about it. It's a little bit of a deflection. I keep calling for Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, to interview this Atlantic magazine editor, Goldberg. You got to send agents out there and find out how he got on that thread. You know, I'm kind of flabbergasted that hasn't happened yet. I want to know how this evolved. I'm not looking to fire anybody. Obviously, if it happens again, yeah. But mistakes are mistakes. But this is a big one. Let's find out. All right, back to the migrants. So when you have a situation where an incoming president, Donald Trump, is throwing every resource to try to correct the worst executive order policy in the history of this country, you're going to have some hysteria. You are going to have some dissent. And the Democratic Party doesn't want any part of this. They were fine under Biden with the open border. You did not hear them protest Biden's open border. Did you? Did you hear Kamala Harris criticize it? Henry Cuellar, a congressman in Texas, did, January 2024, roll the tape.
I don't like exactly the language that's there, but I think the Biden administration can certainly do a lot more at securing the border. It's very simple. It's what I've been saying for many years. Detain and deport the people that don't qualify.
Very rare. Cuellar. Very, very rare. Rare. And the leadership of the party. That's Chuck Schumer. Okay. That's Kamala Harris. No problem with it. None. And that's going to haunt them. Because even today, with all of the action against the criminal migrants, you have Democrats, high-profile Democrats, that are condemning it. Roll the tape.
If a person is so much as accused of a crime, if someone wants to point a finger and accuse someone of shoplifting, they will be rounded up and put into a private detention camp and sent out for deportation without a day in court.
They want you to blame immigrants. They want you to criminalize immigrants. We need to focus on the greedy billionaires and make them pay their fair share. We can't let them continue their lies and their distractions. We can't let them deport the millions of families across this country who have been doing the work that keeps our economy going every day.
And that's just hysterical nonsense, gibberish. And Americans know it. How do I know they know it? Because there's a poll I'm going to give you in a moment. You know, I always say when you watch the No Spin News and listen on the radio, you should have a pen and a paper. If you are a concierge member to BillO'Reilly.com, you get a transcript of everything I say so that you have in your records. But if you're not, you can write down the stats because our stats are in stone. We never have to correct anything that we tell you as far as statistics are concerned. Now, I'm going to list and read some of the organizations in the United States that are opposing the crackdown on criminal migrants. It starts with the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops. Then it goes to the American Civil Liberties Union, Immigrants List, National Immigrant Justice Center, New York Immigrant Coalition, Civil Liberties Union, Jewish Council Public Affairs, then a whole bunch of others, CASA, nonprofit organization, Immigrant Workers' Rights, Texas Baptist Christian Life Commission, Institute on Religion and Democracy. All of these people say, no, we don't want any of this. We'd rather have the Trump administration back off, not track them down. Because remember, when you are looking for criminal aliens, and they're associating with aliens who don't have a crime record, both of them go, as they should. Because you, as an undocumented migrant, know if your boyfriend or girlfriend or son or daughter are committing crimes. You know it. And if you're sitting there watching it, then you go. Okay? Here are some people who oppose the deportations. D.C. Circuit Judge Patricia Millett, Chicago Mayor Brandon James, L.A. Mayor Karen Bass, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Way to go, Hakeem. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston, Springfield, Ohio Mayor Rob Rue, and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and the woman you just heard from. Look, they're Americans, they're entitled to their opinion, but I am entitled to say that these people are irresponsible and dangerous. They put my family and your family in danger. And if I see them on the street, I'm going to tell them that. I'm going to tell them that. You're putting my family in danger with your insane take on this. And that's the memo. All right, here's the poll I was referring to, Pew Research. 5,123 U.S. adults. First question. Do you think immigrants living in the USA illegally should be deported? All of them, 32%. Some of them, 51%. That adds up to 83%. No, deportation, 16%. I don't know who these 16% are. I don't know anybody like that. I don't. Second question. Deciding whether immigrants living in the USA should be deported, which of the following groups should? Violent crimes, 98%. Okay, so if you commit a violent crime, you're a foreign national, out of here. Nonviolent crimes, 68%. Okay, I'm with that. You sneak into this country and you shoplift, you steal a car, whatever, gone. Gone. All right? Those who arrived within the past 4 years, that's on Biden's watch, 64% in this Pew poll say they should all be deported on that open border thing. Very, very interesting. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X. Look for @Bill O'Reilly.